This is the 2023 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Yeast Experiment, British Brown Ale. Thanks to our sponsors: Imperial Yeast, 5 Star Chemicals, Yakima Valley Hops, Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Store, and Brewers Hardware. Let's get tasting.
Hey guys, Matt here at Record Brewery. This is going to be my first video. This is for the 2023 Brewtubers Yeast Experiment. It is sponsored by our sponsors. We had ordered all of our ingredients from Beer and Wine Hobby. I think most of us have, if not all of us have. So that way we had a consistent type of ingredients. Everybody's got the same stuff. We all used distilled or RO water, so we all started from the same base there too. The only difference should be the yeast. And probably minimal things here and there with folks' craft. So this is about as good of a experiment and a comparison as you're going to get. This one is mine, so I figured I would do mine first. I'll start with this one. I use the WLP006, which is the Bedford British Ale yeast. I thought it would be nice to try. I've never tried this yeast before. I'm going to get this close to the camera here, and then we'll talk a little bit about this. It's actually very clear. I did cheat a little bit, as this did come out of the my kegerator. I'm actually out of cans, but you can see, well, it's kind of dark, but you can kind of get an idea from the bottom of that glass there. But it is very clear. It's got a nice reddish hue to it. I love the color of that. It's a very nice brown color with some nice red hues on there. So gorgeous looking beer. The head does stick around for a little bit, but it doesn't really, I mean, it dissipates to a nice sort of cap. And I've been drinking on this for the last month, so it's starting to get up there in the age. So this definitely isn't fresh by that standard, but still a wonderful beer. It's got a nice, I mean, it's a brown ale, so it's got a nice sort of, I don't want to say roasty smell to it, but it's kind of, you can tell that it's more of like a, maybe like a porter, kind of an aroma to it. And I apologize, I'm terrible with descriptors. I'm sure the other folks in our club will do much better justice on reviewing these. Definitely get some sort of like toffee, some chocolate. You know, that caramel, that's kind of the smells I'm getting from this. It's not as deep as you would expect from like a stout, say, but it's kind of like a more mild version of that scent. Very pleasant though. But before we dig further into this, let's talk about, pulled up the Bedford British Ale yeast off the White Labs website. It says ferments dry and flocculates very well, produces a distinct ester profile. The yeast yields a full mouthfeel perfect for creating English-style ales, including bitters, pale ales, porters, stouts, and browns. Pitch rate calculator curious about brewing with this strain, and they tell you how to kind of go through that. So, yeah, it definitely it cleaned up on its own really nicely. I don't think I used, I don't recall actually. I don't know that I used any findings. I didn't document it, at least if I did. Oops. I got my barbecue equipment hanging on the side of this, and I just knocked it off. So sorry about that. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Yeah, let's talk about what went into this. If you want to see the full brewing footage, I'll see if I can put a card up here. I got everything listed there, all the ingredients and everything, and you can kind of see the process that I went through. But I brewed this back in September, and I kegged it at the end of September. Started out at 1053 and it finished out at 1008, so it's almost a 6% beer. There is 9 pounds of number 19 floor malted Maris Otter, very specific. We all use the exact same grain from Beer and Wine Hobby. Used a half a pound of crisp brown malt, a half a pound of crystal DRC, Simpsons, 4 ounces of brown coffee malt, which was Simpsons, and 4 ounces of pale chocolate. The hops, 3/4 of an ounce of Challenger at 60, half an ounce of Fuggles at 30, half an ounce of EKG at 15, and hop stand 15 minutes. Water profile, everybody kind of went for the same water profile. I kind of wrote down it being 54 of calcium, 14 magnesium, 31 sodium, 83 of chloride, and 72 of SO4. I mashed it 152, 60 minutes. And I believe that is all the information I have with this. I'm trying to think what I fermented it at. I believe it was just at your standard ale temperatures. I can't remember the exact number. It might have been 68 or 70. I forget exactly the amount that I used there. Let me check to see if I have it listed in Brewfather here. Let's see what it said we fermented at here for Brewfather. Yeah, so it was right around the 68 mark. And then of course I cold crashed it at the end. I did a diacetyl rest for a couple of days before I cold crashed it, and then I go ahead and went and cold crashed it. So, you know, all told, let's see, took about from primary all the way through to the end of the cold crash, about 2 weeks. So pretty quick turnaround on this. Let's see what we have. As you can see, the cap is still kind of hanging around. It's got a nice kind of clings to the glass, nice lacing there. Got a lot of good bubbles coming here, streaming up on the top. Good carbonation from the visual. Let's try it. Cheers. Yeah, that's a nice beer. Very refreshing, very clean. You get, I'm trying to think of a good descriptor. I don't want to say astringency, but you get the sharpness. It's not real sharp. Maybe that's not a good descriptor, but you get hit with the with that coffee and that crystal, and it's nice. It's very nice. It's not too much. And the hops that were used on this, obviously they're Challenger Fuggles and EKG. They're not something that's really going to change the flavor profile, but it gives it a nice, dare I say, balance between the malt that's in here. Yeah, it's very nice. For me, it kind of goes between the brown ale, the porter, and that kind of style. You know, it's not super dark from the color. So it's, you know, I know you can have a lighter porter. But this is definitely looks the part for a nice brown ale. And you know, everything kind of follows along with that. It's just a good, well-rounded recipe. Nice job, Nick, putting that together. The carbonation on this one, for me, I would probably dial it down slightly. For me, it's a little bit on the higher side. It is a nice medium to high carbonation that I had put on this in the keg. And it's got a good, it does, I mean, I remember reading that it said it's supposed to have a nice full mouthfeel. It does have a good mouthfeel to it. And I'm sure that the yeast profile is helping with that. Yeah, it's very nice. So now I have something to start with, and I can start digging into the other ones we have from the club. So look forward to more videos. This is the first one. Thank you goes out to our sponsors. Every one of them went into this. So I'll put up a card for all of our sponsors, and we will see you guys on the next video. Come join the fun, brewtubers.com, and see what it's about. And hey, you can be a part of this, one of these experiments too. Take care, have a good night. Cheers.